This is Deepak. I'm in Kansas City right now, and we are continuing our discussions on You Are the Universe, discovering your cosmic self and why it matters. And you can join this discussion forum by coming to that site. You Are the Universe is the name of the book, but the name of the site is discoveringyourcosmicself.com. So today's question is from Nurse 1946, and she says, I followed you, Deepak, for quite a while and think I have woken up to the idea that we are consciousness and this body that I feel is 99% empty space. I'm just walking around shaking my head. I meditate frequently but still feel all alone. I'm awake to your teaching. Now what, Deepak? Okay, so the question is well posed, but let me elaborate further. So what do we mean by waking up? Waking up to what? Well, waking up to what we call the ultimate reality, in which the everyday reality is being conceived, constructed, governed, and comes into existence. So our everyday reality, as I've said many times, is a human construct. But fundamental reality is pure being, which is timeless, pure consciousness, which is timeless, pure creativity, which is timeless, pure love, which is timeless. So to wake up means to wake up from time-bound experience to the timeless being in which the experience is happening, is arising and subsiding in every moment of now, but not a moment in time, the eternal presence, which is timeless, which is always now. So when we wake up to that, then obviously the first thing is that there is no craving or attachment to the impermanent. There is no defensiveness that comes from ego identity. There is no fear of impermanence. And ultimately, there is no fear of death. So why? Because timeless being, being non-local, cannot have those false cravings or false fears, having woken up to that which is now and always. Woken up to that which is now and always. So this is what happens. Now, Nurse 1946 says, I feel alone. Well, you may experience solitude, which is not the same thing as being lonely. So being lonely is being cut off from all that is. And being in solitude is to be connected with all that is. So natural expressions of compassion, joy, equanimity, all emerge spontaneously. Love as the ultimate truth emerges spontaneously. Do we still go about doing our business as usual? Yes, we do. We still go about taking care of our family and our friends even more than before, because now we are not attached to our self-importance. We perform our work with even better excellence, because now we are not attached to success. We are more engaged, but we are also more detached. So when we are engaged and detached, of course, success is spontaneous. Success, as defined by the progressive realization of worthy goals, the ability to love and have compassion, to experience pure creativity and experience lightness of being. Lightness of being, which is also the state of flow. So this is what happens when we awaken from the dream which is the arising and subsiding of form and phenomena in every moment of now, in the presence of now. The moment is not in time, it is the presence which is timeless, which is our own being. So no need to feel alone, no need to feel alone, but there is the experience of solitude and stillness and silence, even in the midst of chaos, confusion, and sometimes what appears to be the collective madness of what we see in society, which is causing all kinds of problems, including eco-destruction, extinction of species, poison in our food chain, mechanized death, atomic weapons, and you see that as you wake up to being, that is to the play of consciousness, as it learns from experience and then takes quantum leaps of creativity that we can only call evolution of consciousness. So the evolution of consciousness is in the direction of soul consciousness, in the direction of what we call cosmic consciousness, to be engaged and detached, in the direction of having the experience of non-local being and local activity at the same time, the experience of being in the spiritual domain but engaged in the material world. That's cosmic consciousness. And then we have divine consciousness, where we see that everything, whether it's a book or my body or this watch or this computer, these are all modified forms of awareness. So when we see ourselves in every object of perception, we call that experience beauty. When we see ourselves in every person, we call that experience love. And love, beauty, truth, goodness, beauty become the norm for us. Become the norm for us. And this is what it means to wake up. Wake up from the dream. As I've said frequently, Ludwig Wittgenstein, the German philosopher, said, our life is a dream, we are asleep, but once in a while we wake up enough to know that we are dreaming. So right now this is what we call a waking dream. And then there are sleeping dreams, but waking dream can also be a kind of a sleep, a kind of a sleep. When we want to, when we experience the lightness of being, the lightness of awareness, then we realize that all is a projection, that there is no ego, that the real self is never born and not subject to death, and that every form, every perception, space, time, energy, matter, all objects, all modes of observation and all observers are all an incessant, endless arising and subsiding of experience with what is being. Okay? So there are a couple of interesting questions. One question here from Robin. She says, don't we need, or Robin says, don't we need to be concerned about the scourges, you note, extinction of species, nuclear war, dysfunction, discrimination, and fear-mongering? I don't think we need to be concerned. We need to be aware and come up with natural creative responses that are inherent in beings, in our own being. Otherwise, we just add to the melodrama. Lorraine Rossi says, you are the best dream. Well, we all choose our dream, don't we? So actually, that's a good point. When we wake up, then we can choose the dream we want to be in. Susie Bell says, I think I'm in a coma. No, Susie, just the fact that you say it means that you're aware, and that's the beginning of a journey. Nina Blankenberg, we dream in life and in sleep. Yeah, life is a continuum of happenings in awareness and experiences that are part of the dream, but we can choose the dream we want to be in. Okay, and I'm just looking at any more comments you have. Kathleen Kramer, I'm so grateful to be in your presence, Kathleen. I'm grateful that we are sharing the same dream. Mindy says, I just woke up and realized I have to hurry off to work. Work, if done with joy and in the presence of our own being, can be a vocation which is also a vacation. Sorry for the pun. Okay. Munesh Sinha says, Om Namo Shivaya, Deepak. So maybe that's a good place to end. Om Namo Shivaya. Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. And meanwhile, I'm on the tour talking about You Are the Universe, discovering your cosmic self and how it matters. And join our discussion forum and also the sweepstakes on discoveringyourcosmicself.com. The sweepstakes are interesting, and lots of gifts from the Chopra Center, from jayo.com, and even a vacation retreat for the winners. Thank you. God bless. See you tomorrow.